everybody, welcome back to Recordology. How about an internet radio? You guys know I love internet radio, but this one actually has ChatGPT built in. Why did they do that? It's actually a really good idea. You're not going to want to miss this. Years ago, this company I'd never heard of called Choyong reached out to me because they had this internet radio they wanted me to take a look at. It was this one, the LC90. And I love internet radio. I think it's really exciting. There's like tens of thousands of stations available, and a lot of the radios you can add your own stations, etc. And we reviewed this radio and it did pretty dang good. However, one of the negative feedback, in fact, I think the only negative feedback, was that the device was difficult to search for content because it didn't tie into the SkyTune system, if I remember correctly. And SkyTune is like this database, searchable database of internet radio stations. And then usually with an internet radio, you can also enter a manual IP address, etc. But it was difficult. You could browse some things. They had some like presets and things that you could browse, but doing a deep search was difficult. So they said that they would address that via firmware. I haven't personally upgraded the firmware to this yet, so I'm not sure what happened in that regard. But in the meantime, they've come out with this, a whole new idea in internet radio. This is the C2 from Choyoung, and why it says Choyong on it, I'm not sure. It seems to be some inconsistencies in the product imaging, but it should be Choyong. In fact, if you look on the side, it even says Choyong there. So what I've experienced so far with these guys is really good build quality, and the feature sets seem to be pretty dang good. This has added ChatGPT functionality to help you search for stations. So that sounds really interesting to me. It is available on Amazon. However, this particular sample came from across the ocean. So the features identified here, we have superior acoustic design and performance. Apparently this has a very powerful amplifier. And let me say at the outset, this is a very heavy device. And I always say that weight does indicate quality. I know it's not 100% one-to-one ratio of weight equals quality, but typically lightweight stuff, it's cheaper, heavier weight stuff is not. So yeah, I'll be curious to see about that. Can connect to Wi-Fi. It's got a built-in 4G data card. That's interesting. Bluetooth wireless streaming, 3-way stereo sound effect. And get this, 240 watt amplifier. Whether that's peak RMS, I'm not sure, but hopefully this thing sounds good. We are close enough to my surgery, my last surgery, that I'm still not allowed to lift anything over 10 pounds. So my lovely and talented and beautiful wife has been helping me tremendously in so many ways, but lifting this thing out of the box and etc., she's going to have to help me with. But we can open the box anyway. So there's a look top side. It's got a nice fabric wrap. Let's go ahead and get it out of the box. Device does not require a wall wart. That's good. Seems like a good quality, average quality cord. At this point in the program, I inexplicably turned away from the microphone, and no big surprise, you couldn't hear me very well. So essentially, here I am taking off the fabric overwrap, and I commented on how well it seemed to be packaged. As you can see, it's also shrink wrapped as well. It's a bit much, the picture. I mean, that's a bit large. I don't think we needed it quite that large. And then we've got this plastic wrap as well. So let's go ahead and, wow, it's like stretchy and adhesive at the same time. This one-handed here. Pull it off the bottom. Okay. Well, it's a pretty little thing, and this form factor, we've seen it with a couple other products as well. But yeah, this is like it feels like a dashboard. It's like a leather material, slightly gummy feeling. I think that's leftover residue from this adhesive wrap, probably got hot in transit at some point. But yeah, that does feel nice. And we tilt it up. I feel like there's a protective film on this, maybe, hopefully, because it's a little bit cloudy in spots right here. And I don't know if that's, let me zoom in and show you what I'm talking about. If if I go in right there, see how that's kind of gouged up a little bit? I don't know if that's like a film that I can remove. I am not 100% sure. Also, since we're down here in this vicinity, discover the world's beautiful sounds. I really wish that I could fix that. It feels like there might be a film there, but I can't quite get it off of there. All right, let's rotate this around to the back side. Looks like we got a USB-C slot there to charge it, possibly a pinhole LED indicator, an on and off switch. And look at these RCA caps. That's kind of interesting. Are those caps? Those have got to be caps. Interesting. I've never seen I've never seen RCAs capped like that. The power supply. Well, no, it's not. Why is there USB-C? That must be like a source, because then you got the power supply there. And then some regulatory stuff and a paragraph about the poetry of music and the sacred trust and solace. Interesting. Nothing on this side. If I rotate it like this, you can see the seam for the veneer. The feet, oops. Wow. The feet are like a dense rubber. And then back top side. Let's look at those controls. Okay, so here we've got a protective film, at least right there. That's our big control knob. Ooh, that's cool. The outer ring rotates, but the middle stays static. And then these are, hard to tell if those are metal. They feel kind of like metal. And then this beautiful brass back plate there. It feels like there's a layer of plastic over that as well. But you know what? It looks pretty sharp. I'm going to leave it for now. So this is a volume on. This looks like a selector switch and an OK button. I'm not sure what this is going to do exactly yet. Treble and AI2, bass and AI1. And yeah, so let me go ahead and plug this in. I need to read the manual on this so I know what I'm doing, and we'll go from there. All right, the manual leaves a little something to be desired. It's very, very basic. Looks like you can change different clock faces out on that dial. That's cool. But in terms of like deep dive connectivity, you can scan different things for different things. There's different services to connect it to. I'm most interested about using the 4G connection. See, look at that. Choyung. Very strange. And Choyong is definitely what the company's called. So anyhow, we're just going to have to wing it, I think. Maybe I didn't see a more comprehensive manual besides this quick start guide. It might have been in there, but let's just wing it. Let's go cowboy mode and see what we can figure it out. Right now, I'm just using the full studio lights. So I'm going to press this power button in the back. Nothing happened. I'm going to press and hold a little longer. Apparently, if you do have an issue with the thing, you need to reset it. You can do this for 5 seconds. Okay, I held it for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then we got the Choyoung logo. That looks really, really cool. This reminds me of like a car that has like a dial in the middle. I don't have a car like that, but yeah, that's cool. Let me zoom in a little closer so you can see that. So we've got a clock. Why not? Why not have a clock? And then what happens if I rotate this? Okay, so that puts us right into a menu. Search, Asia, Africa, Europe. So those are browsing features. SANA, I don't know what that means. Oceania. Add, favorites, play history, podcasts. Oops, and then it loops back around. There's a settings option as well. So what happens if I do this? So I can control it also from this knob. So I wonder why I would do it the other way around. The first thing is, can I just use the built-in data connection with a 4G to play something? So let's just browse. We're going to go to Oceania. Okay, so it says, please check your network. So we need some sort of network connection. Okay, yes, I agree. How do I do that? Do I have to wait? What do I have to do? So thus began a very frustrating several minutes as I tried to figure out why this thing kept getting me stuck, apparently, in this menu. However, I neglected to realize that this screen is a touch screen, and all I had to do was swipe left. I'm going to spare you the boring details of me screwing it up multiple times, and we'll just skip to the other end. Tried the 4G data connection in the menu, but you apparently have to go to their website and subscribe for that service. Too good to be true. Now, you may say, of course you have to subscribe, but there have been devices over the years that have free 4G data. Thinking of the Nook e-reader device, the first gen, had built-in free 3G or 4G, which is cool. Okay, I am going to go to the menu now, and this time I am going to just connect it to my Wi-Fi, which is probably what I should have done the first time. So Wi-Fi, connect. I finally got this thing to where I can enter my Wi-Fi password. It's a touch screen. I had no idea. So here I am trying to, do everything over here, but it's actually a touch screen. All right, let me get logged into my Wi-Fi and we'll go from there. Okay, that took a little bit of time, but let's see if it works. Connecting. Once I figure this out, I think this will be really cool, but it's definitely a new system. It said, do you want to restart in order to save the password? So I said, yes. Okay, let's try to just browse. Let's go to Asia and Japan. It's been a lot of work trying to listen to something on this thing. No streaming station. Okay. Okay. How do I go back? Swipe left. I probably could have done that earlier. Music? Do we have any music in Japan? Okay, we do have that. Shonan Beach. Let's give this a listen. Okay, here we go. We're actually going to get some sound, I think. Skipping through some of the stations now. Sound quality sounds pretty dang good. Obviously, this is lossy audio. Nice. And then you can tap right on the top there. It gives you play, pause control and skip control right on the actual touchscreen itself, which is cool. Takes a second to load. And then you're going. Almost. Now what happens if I turn this? So you can... So you can also skip by rotating the dial. I'll say this, the sound quality is really pleasing. It sounds very bassy, very warm, very rich. I wanted to mention the speakers that this thing has. It has a 4-inch woofer, two 2.5-inch mid-range speakers, and two 25mm silk film tweeters. So they are 3-way, and it really does sound good. Obviously, you're not going to get much stereo separation, but I don't think it's really intended for that. Let's travel somewhere else in the world. So if I swipe left, no, that tries to rebuffer that. You can tap here to make it favorite, I think, with a heart. Yes? No? Maybe I'm doing too much at once. Tap that, and it's going back. Favoriting. Okay, yeah, so you got to be careful, but I was able to favorite that station and cancel that favorite if I want. Now, let's go to news.
Curated by Asia Dream Radio.
Turn the volume down a little bit. And let's try something else here. So let's go back to, just because it's internet radio, you don't have to do international if you don't want to, but I think it's kind of fun. I used to do shortwave radio, just listening to it because I thought it was like traveling to places I may never get to go. So that's what excites me about it, in addition to just all the content you can get. Let's see here. Let's go to something interesting here. And let's go to France. Let's see if we can find some spoken word French audio. There's so much content out there that sometimes stations go away, sometimes new ones show up, all that good stuff. Said it was English, but that's not English.
Responsable à la fois de la perte de biodiversité et à la fois en émissions de gaz à effet de serre.
Okay, let's go to search. Maybe I can do the long press, the AI1 key to search stations, long press 2 to search podcasts, and OK to search music. Okay, so I'm pressing OK to search music. Oh, so it brings up the microphone. Okay. Big band music. If this works, this is going to be kind of sick. In the best possible. Look at that. That is cool. Okay, that's really cool. Sergeant Pepper's, not really big band music, but that's a cool feature. I got to play around with that. Duke and big band. That was definitely a good one. Let's go ahead and give this a listen. See if we can get some big band by speaking it. So apparently they're using the ChatGPT. It's open source, so that makes sense. They're using that on the back end.
In late, I don't know and don't realize what's been going on. This has been the Duke Ellington Band, featuring some of the outstanding musicians.
Skip through. Skipping through. This is cool. You may have caught it already, but another idiot alert here. So the button I was pushing to speak into was for specific audio that was recorded. That's why the songs were starting from the beginning. But if I would have pressed one of the other AI buttons, I could have voice searched stations by genre, which is what I was trying to do. And as you can see, there's so much content out there, you can just like go to town looking for anything. So let me try this again. Let's listen to the Beatles. Play the Beatles. See what we get here. So it brought up some different stations and things. So let's select this one. It says Come Together. That should be a good one. Woo, it's actually playing Come Together. Awesome. This is really cool. I'm able to skip through all these Beatles stations. It almost sounds like on demand because they're all starting at the beginning.
A taste of honey, tasty.
This is cool. See, internet radio is fun. You never know what you're going to find. It's like the Wild West of audio out there. There's so much. Your local radio station probably has a stream that you can get, or just some stuff all over the world. Plus, who knows what else is out there. And the sound quality is good.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you tomorrow.
I just told it to play CNN News, so let's see if it goes straight to it. Looks like it brought up a list of stations. Also, it just occurred to me, AI1, AI2, it's artificial intelligence. That's the ChatGPT tie-in. That makes sense. So let's go. I don't see CNN on here. I'm sure there's a way to get CNN, but let's just play some other random station here. This is some sort of news station. Let's let it load. Give it a listen. Maybe it's not news. Underpinning truth to internet radio is there's no guarantees. There's no, you never know for sure what you're going to get, if anything. But it's usually pretty delightful because there's so much out there, like 40,000 plus stations. Let's go ahead and, I'm still getting used to this. Okay, Bluetooth, obviously you can connect your phone. It's going to sound good. It's a good speaker. You can adjust the brightness. What other settings do I have besides data? So playback time limit, version info, after sales service, restore factory settings. That's about it, perhaps. And I would love to be able to see at a glance the bit rates for this stuff. A lot of times you get like bit rate data on whatever you're listening to, which can vary from like super low res, like 16 kilobits per second, all the way up to really high end, for lossy, higher end lossy audio. Okay, let's connect an external source. Let's go ahead and connect our RCA cable to the back. This is not provided with the device. And I'm going to rotate this back up. Oops, it's quite heavy. On the other side of this cable, I've got a stereo headphone connection. I'm going to connect it to my We Are Rewind cassette player, the headphone socket, and then we're going to just use this Disney Kids tape for a connectivity test. And I presume I need to go over to aux-in on the menu here. It now has an aux-in logo. And let's see what happens. So I need to give this some volume first. So we've got the tape playing, and I don't hear anything. Why don't I hear anything? Okay, that's weird. I tried 2 cables, verified the headphone jack is working on the tape deck. Nothing. So I hope we've not uncovered a problem. I don't want any problems here. So let me try another source. Okay. All right, let's try another known good device. This is the FIO CD player, CP13? Something 13. We're going to go ahead and put a disc in here. I do like this thing. I like a smaller form factor. And it is coming to life, as you can see right there. Reading. And soon playing. And I got nothing over here. Not anything. Thought I would restart the unit just in case that magically helped. The audio is still coming in, but let me express it. Yep, it's on aux-in. Just nothing. Isn't that weird? There's nothing, and it's connected to the RCA connections. Tried different cables. No reason why it shouldn't work. That sucks, though. Really, really sucks. I really have no idea why that's not. I can't get it working. I tried a bunch of stuff off camera. I even connected it to like my phone via this dongle here, this DAC, and something I feel like is coming from the device because it started tripping up the phone. Like there was some kind of voltage or signal coming the other way instead of, into the device. Also, I looked online. Apparently, this is like the second review of this radio. And the first guy didn't mention any problems with this, although he didn't really review that feature that I saw. So I don't know. So it's possible I'm doing something wrong, but it seems to be an issue at this point. Also, I read that this unit is the base model. There's a premium version for $100 more. This is $299, but there's a $399 version that has a built-in terabyte hard drive. Also, this overwrap says it's Napa leather. So that may be actual leather, which is really cool. It feels quality. It feels solid. This is an anodized CNC machine plate here, up here. And yes, there is a film up here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I'm liking this thing. It sounds so, so good. But let's do the Bluetooth test next. So let's go ahead and tap on Bluetooth. That looks cool. And I'm looking on my device for a Bluetooth connection popping up. And it says C2. So let me connect to the device. Lights up green. I think we're connected. All right. Maybe as easy as that. It's got basic transport controls on there. DC. I'm not sure what that means. But let's go ahead, pull the camera back, and do a sound test with the Bluetooth. Okay, this is Local Forecast by Kevin MacLeod. And we're connected over Bluetooth. Also, it says that it's got playback compatibility with almost all digital audio formats except for DSD. So something to keep in mind there. I think of this thing as like a higher quality lossy device, not a lossless listening experience. Again, our treble and bass controls are flat, so you can increase them, decrease them. So far though, it sounds very well balanced and very bassy and rich, just flat. But here we go. Definitely thumps. It sounds really good. This would be like a great party speaker, Bluetooth speaker, but where it really shines, I think, is that internet radio connectivity. Obviously, we had the issue with the line input. I've got to assume that's a one-off issue. That being said, I will put the link down below, but I can't give this a full thumbs up until I experience that working, because that's a major flaw to one of its stated features. So that's unacceptable. And when you're done, press and hold the power button, and it takes you back to the power off mode. All right, my friends, and that's going to do it. Like I said, it is really cool. If the line input, the aux input worked, it would have been perfect. but it's a fun device anyway. I'll go ahead and put the link down below if you want to check it out. Also, let me know down in the comments below what your experience is or your thoughts are in regards to internet radio. I would love to hear them as well. That's going to do it for today. Don't forget our merchandise, our custom 45 adapters, and oh, so many cool things. We've got a lot of cool things coming your way. Giveaways, live shows, all kinds of reviews. The stuff continues to stack up, and I'm so excited to share it with you in due time. But my friends, that is going to do it for today. So happy record hunting, and we'll see you next time.